Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. John Community here. Today I want to talk about Apostle Laura-Lee, and this video is probably going to be called In Defense of Apostle Laura-Lee, because I get sent a lot of messages about her, both good and bad, but a lot of people say like negative things, and they send me like these exposed videos and stuff, and I watched one yesterday that one of my faithful subscribers sent me, and like I kind of was a bit offended by it just because of the sort of language that was being used. Not like the sort of language, but yeah, like the accusations and just the lack of respect and just all that stuff. I mean, I get trolled a lot on my channel, and I know that there are people that aren't trolls who are just, they don't want the information. They're not ready to see what I have to say. It's just not part of their awakening process yet. And I think that that's what happens with Apostle Laura-Lee a lot of the times. So she is the person that exposed me to transvestigation. Last April or so, maybe last April, May, I really had like an awakening experience, and I really felt like I had a contact with God, and that's what I really was just, there's no doubt in my mind there's a creator. And I started looking up God videos and whatever, and I came across her videos. And then I came across Transvestigation, and I watched every one of them. I actually watched many of them multiple times because I just couldn't even believe what she was talking about, and I really had to like give myself a chance to process like why. And like before that, I'd seen a couple celebrities on TV who I was like, wow, that looks like a man, and I would joke with my roommate, and my roommate at the time, I have a different roommate now, but and I'd be like, that looks like an alien-faced man. And he'd be like, yeah, there's alien head, blah, blah, blah. And we'd laugh about it or whatever. And so when she started saying this stuff, and then she started giving all of her proof and like links and diagrams of skulls and male versus female and stuff, I really kind of just, I was mind blown, okay? And I started listening to a lot of her Bible stuff. I read through a lot of The Lost Story, her book, and to be honest with you, you really have to have like a lot of biblical knowledge. You really should have read the Bible full through right before you read this, unless you've been studying scripture your entire life. My mom read me the Bible many times when I was younger, and I've read it once as an adult, and I go to church every week. So I kind of had like a really good background to delve into it, but even then I wasn't so much prepared for the information she was giving. So I do consider her like one of the ultimate theologians of our time, in that she has a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight into the Bible. So for that, I give her a lot of credit. For her views on the internet, I give her a lot of credit. So she is someone, she's an adult woman. The internet is, you can talk about anything on the internet. Your feelings don't matter on the internet. I'm sorry to tell you. If she says something to you, she calls you out and she says, I don't believe you're a real person. I don't believe you're a woman. She's allowed to say that, and guess what? She doesn't have to take it back. She doesn't have to make an apology video to you. She doesn't, even if you make a video showing your breasts, your vagina, your birth certificate, everything. She doesn't have to make an apology video or recant any of her statements. If people want to see if she is saying the truth, all they have to do is look it up. We're all accountable here for the information that goes in our heads and what we believe. School has fooled so many people into thinking if someone says it to you, it must be true. No, you have to literally look up everything. If you think that you want to believe something, you have to look it up yourself. That's the only way you're ever going to know if anything's true. And that's how I feel about it too. So if she says this person is not real or blah, 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 you have to look it up yourself, and then you get to decide. She never has to change her mind to satisfy you. You don't have to come and attack her because she says something about you that isn't true. You just have to prove it and put it out there, and if people want to know that it's true, that is on them. Otherwise, they are children. People who willingly, blindly accept information without fact-checking are children. I'm sorry, that's a childish way of accepting information. You have to look it up yourself. And you have to make sure that everything that you believe is true to you. Not true because someone said it to you or because you believe that they have an authority on something. That belief in authority is what is killing culture and is what is leading us astray anyway. That's one thing I want to say about Apostle Laura-Lee, is that she doesn't care. It's her platform to say whatever she feels like she is saying, okay? That's it. Another thing I want to say is that she is unabashedly Christian. She doesn't waver on her views. She says exactly what's on her mind, she backs it up with biblical scripture. She and I might not totally agree on anything to do with the Bible or anything like that. But guess what? I'm not going to make a video about like how she is wrong about the Bible or how she is not an evangelical Christian or a gospel following Christian or something like that. That is just ridiculous. She obviously has a world full of knowledge for someone who wants that type of knowledge for Christianity. I'm not going to sit here and say that because we don't agree on something that she is like none of her views have merit. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's a child statement as well. That's black and white thinking. It's not correct in this world. You have to be able to pick and choose the information that you believe and the truth to you, etc., etc., etc. So anything I say as John Humanity, it can be totally against Apostle Laura-Lee. These are our separate platforms. The things that match up, that's it, okay? So if you don't, another thing about Apostle Laura-Lee, she will yell at you and scream at you. Okay, I think it's freaking hilarious that she will scream at you and yell at you about God, and she will get so emotional. People don't get emotional. People are one note of happy or content. No, she is angry. She shows her anger. That is a great trait to have. And guess what? She actually incorporates other people's views into her own views. She watched a couple of my videos, and she actually sort of said, and she said it like with qualms. I could tell in the way her voice quivered a little bit about the psychology behind transgender people and why they're doing these transvestigations. She's the only one that's done that. That's how I know she's not a shill, is that she's actually incorporated other people's opinions. Do I agree with everything that she has to say? No. I don't agree on a lot of the recent things that she's had to say. I still would support her channel 100% because the information on there is crucially golden, and the videos that she has made are just out of this world, incredible, especially in transvestigation, especially in the Bible, okay? So the things I love about her are that she is unabashedly herself. She doesn't apologize. It's her platform and she knows it and she takes control of it. Something I don't necessarily like is that I think that she is a pretty hardcore feminist, which is deplorable, but I think that her version of feminism is probably totally different than than a regular person's view of feminism. So I think that's wonderful. Another thing that I think is wonderful about her is that she, like, how do you put it? I'm losing my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. She takes like her views on Christianity and stuff, and she always is referencing those views. She doesn't she's always backing everything she says up with something from the Bible. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't back up with their sources. They just speak because they have heard it from someone else. And that's ridiculous to me. You should always be providing where you come from and explaining it to the cause and the effect directly, very direct information. And that's what she gives. And that's what I love about her channel. And I will always love that about her channel. I think that she's one of the best channels on YouTube for truth. Her and Jungle Surfer. Jungle Surfer does the same thing. He's yet to get into like the history, but he does a little bit of history, which is totally fine. This is not a video about him, though. I know. One of the exposed things that it said that really made me uncomfortable was that she sounds out of breath, sort of like she has taken drugs before she goes on camera. Okay. Real talk here. I think that maybe she might have alcohol sometimes before she goes on camera because I'm pretty sure she does her videos pretty late at night. I don't know why I think that. I just make that assumption. If she wants to do a couple shots, if she wants to drink a couple beers beforehand, before she does a video, some of these topics are freaking crazy and mind-effery. They are not normal topics. I am with her on that. Who cares? She can have a couple drinks. She can laugh all she wants. She can cackle all she wants about it. I think it's hilarious. You can tell sometimes that there's something going on behind the scenes, but I don't think she's some crazy drug addict. If she's had a couple drinks beforehand, the topic at hand, trannies and stuff, that is 100% craziness and like hilarity at the same time. Who cares? Is the information any different? Is she giving it to you so that you can't accept it? No. I've never ever listened to a video and been like, wow, she's so like out of her mind that I can't even listen to this right now. No. And like, so My view on it is she might do some drinking beforehand, but who doesn't? Everyone has like things that they do. No one's a perfect person. Even if she is an ultimate theologian, she's a human, and just like the biblical scriptures say, she's not perfect. She's going to have stuff that she has to think about with herself, self-reflection, and whatever she does is her business. She puts the information out there for you to accept, and a lot of the information I totally back 100%. So uh, that's my views on it, and that's my opinion about it. Uh, I don't think that she has to defend herself to anybody because the information she puts out there wakes people up in troves, in thousands, tens of thousands. So there you go. That's what I want to say about her. I think that she's a great person, and I think that her videos are wonderful and very helpful. I hope you do too, guys. Please don't send me any more of these exposed videos. I think they're ridiculous.